One of the ways that I want to encourage you to stay strong in your journey, to find the courage to keep going, is to truly dig down deep and find the hope that you need to keep going, knowing that the best is yet to come. Hi, I am Desiree Siegfried. I was the Bachelorette season 9, and I am author of The Road to Roses. I host the Heart of Purpose podcast, and I also design wedding dresses with my very own line, Desiree Hartsock Bridal. So prior to going on to The Bachelor, I was just living paycheck to paycheck, barely getting by, living in Los Angeles, and honestly, very, very lost. I had all of these dreams and aspirations that I wanted to accomplish, but I had no means to do it. And it was really disheartening. It was kind of just one of those times where I'm like crying out to God, like, what is going on? Why am I here? And what do you want for me? And while it was one of the hardest years of my life, it was also one of the most profound, because it was right after a relationship that didn't work out, and I was seeking the Lord wholeheartedly. And it's just so cool to see that in that year of walking so faithfully and really taking steps of faith, how that led me to the show and really shaped who I would be on the show. Because if it wasn't for the Lord, those doors wouldn't have opened, and I wouldn't have been able to trust in it and take the risk needed to make it happen, to go on the show and ultimately meet my husband. So after being on the show, and especially being on The Bachelorette, I received a lot of criticism, and I had to go through a lot of scrutiny based on the choice that I made, or the choices that I didn't make. And it was very, very hard. I was again at a very low point. I was struggling with all of the noise, and I was struggling with all of the words that people were throwing at me. And quite honestly, it was very hard to keep my focus in who God created me to be, and started to put my worth in other people's words. And so I had to go through a whole journey of breaking those lies, breaking those words off of me, and truly looking to God to find my identity. And it's something that I think we all have to go through in order to know who He created us to be and who we are in Christ. My new book, The Road to Roses, is about heartbreak, hope, and finding strength when life doesn't go as planned. I talk about literally everything. So every season of life, I talk about motherhood, I talk about marriage, and I talk about entrepreneurship. I just share all of the life lessons that I had to go through, and the life lessons that I've learned through each and every struggle, through each and every heartbreak, and how hope has kept me going, and how my faith in the Lord has really kept me going. My hope is that it instills hope in you to know who you are, to know who God created you to be in, and to keep the hope that the best is yet to come. There is so much more to come for you. Start scanning your heart of what is missing, and allowing God to fill that void. That is my strongest and my deepest encouragement for you, is to put God first and start praying and start seeking what He wants, and find your identity in Him and not what other people think. Because we are in this world, but we are not of this world. And so we need to discover who we are in Christ and who He wants us to be to touch the lives of other people. I first became familiar with Jesus Calling way back when I was struggling and in the darkest moment of life. In that year leading up to the show, I was seeking God wholeheartedly, and I was searching for books and devotionals that would help me stay in the Word. And that is when I found Jesus Calling by Sarah Young. I was so excited to find something that each and every day was just like a pull in my heart, and it just hit me where I was. And it's something that I give everyone now, my friends and family, so that they too can find Jesus in their everyday lives. I am sovereign over the circumstances of your life, so there are always opportunities to be found in them. Actually, the more difficult your circumstance, the more you can gain through it.